Alright, let's get an ad running.
Let's go. Okay, now I can set my custom status. Oh, let's go. Dude, the setup? I
Right?
see you.
I was feeling pretty good about how I had it.
Pretty good. Let me grab a drink real quick.
Alright. No, that's not centered. There we go. I should have like opened the game to get music. I could
All
probably
right.
do that. Oh no, because then music would be
Notice that two people have reacted with the smile emoji
in what? Oh, with the
in the tier list. I want to react with the heart eye emoji, but it doesn't do anything.
watch
Oh,
this.
I just gave it a heart eye emoji. Let's go.
I'm doing pro strats right here while the ad's running. I'm gonna load up Celeste so we can get some background music.
Just like, okay.
Just for the tier list side.
Yeah. Dubs, dubs, dubs. I'm actually going to pop out your player.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do myself one better. I'm gonna load into the lobby that we're currently looking at.
All right, pop out player is popped out. There we go. Awesome. That includes Discord. Cool. I'm a genius.
Let's hop in two peeps. Let's go. Spring collab,
So if
beginner
I do this, can you
lobby.
hear yourself?
Spring collab. Yes.
So if I do this, okay. So even though this is what you're seeing, like this window,
Uh-huh.
because I have a separate window up of the same of another instance of Firefox, it will still take the audio from both of them, but just the visuals from this one,
Oh, okay.
which I'm sort of surprised about, but I guess it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Let me nerf the volume of this. I'd say a 3 is good. Alright. Got Celeste running in the background. This is some like top tier work I'm putting into this stream.
Let's go. Wait, let me hear that real quick.
Putting into this stream.
Let's go. Wait, let me hear that real quick. Pretty good.
Just enough. Just to keep the silent parts having something. But ads are done. We're good to go. So this is our tier list stream for the Spring Collab maps, not counting Grandmaster.
Or at least not counting a lot of Grandmaster.
Yeah, I guess since I'm in the lobby, I'll be able to look at like which ones we've done, and we'll be able to skip to those in the video. But there will only be a couple, and some of the Grandmaster maps we'll have to use as like placeholders for missing maps in the other lobbies.
Tier list unfortunately isn't perfect, so
yeah. It's weird because for Grandmaster they do have the old and the new versions of the Heart side, because I know they did do an update for that.
There's no,
but they do
the other beginner maps, which I think were always there.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what's going on there.
Maybe they were just missed when they made it.
We're not, yeah. Unless there's just something we're not seeing, it's like a website glitch.
Yeah.
But I really doubt it. So either way, we'll figure that out when the time comes to it.
Yeah. So
hopefully it's only the case with the beginner lobby stuff, and we won't have to.
Hopefully, yeah. Let's see. Not sure how well the words are readable on stream, but we'll be mentioning them by name.
Yeah, we'll be talking
when we get
about
to them. Ego, hello, Happy New Year.
Ego.
Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we decided we're doing an early stream. Blizzard has to leave later today, so we wanted to get something done early with this. This is like
it'll probably take 2 parts anyways, but
yeah,
it's nice to get like a nice chunk of time away now, because this is like the sophisticated, like, hands on the table, you know, I'm presenting to you my argument of why this is good and why this is bad.
This is the debate room. Work's been kicking your ass.
Just opened.
Oh, that's right. I do remember you mentioning that. You mentioned that. That might have been in someone else's chat that I saw you mention it. I'm not sure if it was Arctos or who. Chipotle's good.
Yeah, everyone and their mother does want Chipotle.
It's good. I feel like the debates starting are like, I feel like Chipotle, like the big burrito, it's too much.
I'm just not into that type of food, so I don't really ever go there.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, there's something about the spices used in the meat that tend to just overpower it, to where I get halfway through the burrito and I'm like, I'm kind of getting sick of the spices they're using, and then I just put the burrito away and eat it tomorrow, the next day. Exclusively get the bowl.
Fair.
And only get the chicken. I tend to prefer like steak burrito taco. But chicken is a respectable choice. But why don't we get into it?
Let's get going.
Got our other scenes set up for the video. We're watching through we're watching through Natalie, their channel. There's their Twitch stream link if you want to go watch them. I assume they play Celeste, considering they have a video of going through all silver, golden, and rainbow.
They play a little bit of Celeste. If you go to their channel, they have like 500 and some berries. There's a couple.
Yeah.
A couple berries.
I found one thing I messed up. Properties. Capture cursor. Get that out of here. Why did that change? Why did that change what it's showing?
That is odd.
OBS. Great program. Alright, now the mouse won't show. Sorry for the flickers. Not really a beef fan. That's fair.
Dang. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, like that's probably my favorite
Yeah, my favorite meat.
If I go to like a street taco vendor, steak taco, you get some cilantro, you get some onion, you get some green sauce on there. Oh, sprinkle some lime. Mmm, so good.
Yeah. I will say you being willing to try things is a good thing because so many people won't do that, and I'm like,
Yeah,
you work there. If you get like food, just try it out because then you can give people recommendations of what you like.
that's true. There's so many people that really value, like they'll ask like, what would you recommend if they've never had it?
Right, and they generally like everybody has different taste buds, but if something is cooked well, if it's made well, then unless that person has a personal bias against that kind of food, they're gonna say it's good, and then you're gonna know it's probably cooked well.
Yeah,
Like I'm not saying that's 100%, but yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I did not realize it would do this. Hold up. Hold up, I've got to change. I've got to adjust something because the music is still going through, and I didn't account for that.
Yeah, I that's a
Um,
garlic guajillo steak. The garlic guajillo is less spicy, but it's weird texture. But that could just be me not like steak. Maybe I'll have to go there and try that out because that sounds good.
so if I do that and then add, so add scene, add that. Oh, but that doesn't. Wait, what if I do it this way? We're live troubleshooting my stream, even though it's not a trouble, I guess. Oh, Discord is already in there. Okay. Maybe that's good. All right. So now, Blizzard, can you talk?
No, sorry, forgot.
Okay. And now I believe Blizzard's voice should be coming through, but the music is not. I can't double check this.
Um, you're gonna hear some echo, but I can.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hopefully there's
you're
no
good.
music
Well,
playing.
you're good. There's
Perfect.
no music playing.
Perfect. All right. So now, okay, so I just need to mute and unmute that. All right. Then let's start with the video. First up, we have Heavenly Altitudes, which is one of the maps we don't have on the tier list. So we're going to be using a substitute right away. But yeah, let's get into it. This one I did enjoy. This was like an earlier map I think we did.
I can't remember when we did it, but the concept of never touching the ground, barring respawning if you die,
Mm-hmm.
is pretty cool. I noticed this person did skip here in my time watching it, but you normally dash through the thing and then
Yeah, I think we did. We had either theorized the skip or did do it, depending on the attempt, I think.
this just takes. Now I wish I had the music for this because that could influence my rating possibly, but this just takes core Celeste concepts and makes a really cool, easy, but fun, fast-paced level with it.
Yeah, yeah. There is Blizzard mentioned it. There's a couple of the beginner maps that won't have music, uh, but I believe it will be on for most. Very fast level.
Yeah, I think this was one of the even short. Like I remember we got through this super fast as well. I think this was one of our fastest clears.
Yeah. So that like definitely I can probably already switch over to the
Yeah, I'm already. No, well, wait, it's not here, but
um, let's use old Grandmaster heart side.
okay.
Um,
I think I'm gonna put it for now. I might move this later, depending on. It's like this is gonna be a thing of until we kind of get our feet wet. I'm not gonna know what my scale is gonna be yet, but I'm just gonna go by my words here that I have put on next to mine. So I'm just gonna
mhm.
go with good.
Yeah, that's
Um,
kind of what I was thinking. Like, if it was a regular map, it'd probably be a 5 because it's like it's good, it's middle of the line. But the fact that you just never touch the ground, I
right,
think
that's the
elevates it
gimmick
that
that I
one.
think makes it. I think that makes it interesting,
Hmm.
and aesthetically, it's clean. There's a clear theme. And it's just fun. It's sort of sight readable, which I actually think makes it a little bit more fun because you can just kind of you're basically having to make decisions on the fly, and it's easy enough to where those decisions on the fly still feel fun but rewarding.
Yeah, I like the. This is obviously something I didn't pay attention to going through it the first time or going through it, but the fact that there is no uh, like area to look at a periscope and look ahead, you really do need to either trial and error or sight read it, and it gives you enough time to sight read it.
Yeah, exactly. Which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So yeah, good.
So,
It's a good map. Thumbs up.
all right.
Good. I can't even express how much good means to me. Like it's if you make a good map, I'm already pleased.
Yeah. So
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 just this is fun.
it
Like,
seems critical that we're giving it a 6, but like we're looking
oh,
at it
this is
at
like
it.
good.
Yeah, we enjoy that map, and so a 6 is like a good thing. So don't
Yeah.
don't think about it in the terms of usual like
Yeah,
game
Western.
rankings and whatnot.
Yeah, Western rankings often where people only use 7 and higher.
Yeah. All right, let's hop to the next one, which is Desolate Spire. I assume we have that. Where's my mouse?
I believe we do. Yeah, the
Desolate
other one we
Spire.
didn't
Yep.
have. Yeah, I'll remember the other one we didn't have once you say the name of it. I don't remember what it was at the top of my head, but
Okay. Oh, I
oh, this
loved
one was
this one.
good. Okay, so this had a custom mechanic. I believe this is what introduced the custom mechanic.
Yes, this custom mechanic was used multiple times throughout, even the other lobbies. So fun. Just the idea of a refreshing your jump crystal was so good, and it uses it in some good ways. Keeps it interesting.
Cool movements here, then you refresh your dash at the end. I remember there was a very vertical screen.
The very last screen is just like a vertical shaft.
Yeah, which I really liked that screen.
Yeah. Very cool. Having to conserve your dash.
I guess we can't even talk about strawberries here because they do exist and
Yeah,
they will not be getting them. But
because those
regardless,
probably do play a role in how we saw the map initially.
yeah, yeah. Trying to remember the experience with it is going to be a little bit hard with these ones that we've done probably 2 years ago.
Yeah,
So either way, that last screen's cool.
yeah, very cool. Um, really fun mechanic.
Also the black and white theming is just really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it did have a pretty cool track if I remember. Once again, for some reason, that video doesn't have some music on a couple of the beginner maps, and there's nothing we can really do about that. So
Yeah. Um,
this one,
I'd probably still I'd probably put this in the 6.
I'm gonna go 7. I feel like it. No, granted. Okay, here's something. Here's something that I guess we should talk about now. I don't know if this made slash introduced the custom mechanic and then other things used it, or if this was already a thing and it just decided to use it and that's why a whole bunch of other maps have it. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
where that lies.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to, unless it appears multiple times in the same lobby, assume that just like in this case, this was the first thing that introduced that.
Yeah.
Um, because I don't know, I don't know better otherwise. Like I don't know if this was a mechanic that was it was probably thought up before, but I don't know if this was made specifically for this level, and then people used it for like obviously Heartside, and then if it, I actually don't know if it shows up in any other things. So this might be exclusive to this. I'm not sure.
I think it did show up in one of the later lobbies.
So yeah, I'm just gonna assume that this created the mechanic though, and
Yeah,
that's why I'm
that's
giving it a 7 for now because for its difficulty, this made something new and interesting, and I also, even though I'm more of a fan of big, bright colors, like I'm a Splatoon player, right? Like I like the pastel stuff and all that.
mm-hmm.
I still really enjoyed. I think this one did like the kind of dark and scary theme well, but still kept like the Celeste notion of like brighter colors ish.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see
You
that.
can see.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel overly dark. It just feels like you're climbing a tower and it's kind of desolate. Wow. So yeah, that's me. That's
Um
what I got to say.
yeah, I mean it's a very fun mechanic. I'd agree on kind of like as far as we're concerned, this is the first like this is where that mechanic was started. And that's kind of where it's going for me. Um but for putting it in a 7, it's tough
Right.
because it varies it with the gameplay, but I still don't think it elevated it enough to be a 7 for me.
Okay. Are you okay? Is it worse than Heavenly?
That's
Is that where like let's just
I
clarify this? The left is higher, right?
yeah, I
Okay.
would say it's better. I am a sucker for custom mechanics, so chances are custom mechanic levels will probably rank higher in mine. So I will put it ahead.
Yeah, no, and I mean I agree. That's just if you use a custom mechanic or if you made a custom mechanic or anything like that, custom graphics. I mean, it's just gonna be higher,
Hmm.
right? Like I think good level design is awesome, but if you make a new mechanic or if you use a new mechanic and use it well, I mean that just elevates things almost
Yeah,
always. So
absolutely.
yeah. All right.
All
Yeah,
right.
I mean mine could change. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. On to map number 3. We're looking at Azurite Ascent. Looking at a intermediate beginner.
I love the look of this one.
Mm-hmm. The music fits really well.
Definitely did not need to do that. Cool little puzzle there with the strawberry. I
Yeah.
remember this room.
Yeah, this
This was fairly difficult.
it it's crazy because that looks so easy to me now, but I remember having a lot of trouble with it.
That still looks hard to me. Cycles are just difficult. There's a lot of strawberry potential in this one.
Mm-hmm. It's neat because you see a lot of the strawberry stuff because it's merged with the screen rather than being separate screens for most of them.
This one seems harder than Desolate Spire to me, which is also another thing. A lot of the difficulties in this were never. I never really agreed with them.
Yeah, Desolate Spire was definitely not a red. Very cool.
Cool. Um, probably
heavenly. Yeah.
But the level design is good. It was fun and it gave a little bit of a challenge for beginner, which I like. Um, Nothing you can't handle. The strawberries I remember just by looking at it seemed like, oh, like, oh, instead of going up, I'm actually gonna wrap back around the whole screen.
Hmm.
I like that. Um, Theming and music, this one's like really good, but I still think the fact that like there's technically no new like objects or anything in
In
Heavenly
either.
Altitudes, but the gimmick of Heavenly Altitudes is new. You'd never touch the ground,
Yeah.
whereas this didn't have any new gimmicks at all. So I'll put this good below Heavenly Altitudes.
That is pretty much exactly what I was thinking. Same points, and putting it behind because just the not touching the ground elevates it over. Yeah, I'd be pretty much repeating what you said if I went over it. Yeah, it's basically meets the same, but just a bit more basic gameplay.
Yeah. Could potentially be seeing me put it down into the 5 later on, but I don't really think I can put it that low yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because average could technically fit a lot of stuff if you really want to get into it, but I don't.
Yeah. All right, let's go over to what's our next map? We've got Seeker Temple. It's a green.
First uses of a momentum jump.
Mm-hmm.
This person sucks. Joking.
Hey, you were messing that up in the.
Oh, I was. Trust me. Alright, nice mini secret puzzle here. Decent difficulty, even compared to the base games. This is, I would say, a lot of these puzzles are a lot more involved with the secret itself than other ones.
I feel like it's about the same. It's like a continuation.
Maybe it is about the same. Yeah.
It definitely feels like almost a continuation of chapter.
Yeah, in a way, it feels like rooms like this are better and more complicated, but the room like right beforehand was a lot simpler.
Mm-hmm.
Almost too simple.
Yeah.
In terms of what you could at least do with the beginner map.
It kind of makes sense. Like you still have to introduce the mechanic,
right.
even if it's in the base game.
Also, this if you want to go back like about 10 seconds.
Echo.
Okay, never mind.
Hold up. Oh, whoops. My bad. I just forgot to change one of the things. Which part did you want to?
You go back about 10 seconds. Right before, basically the room right before the heart. This will work.
Okay.
Something I want to point out that's going to be kind of drastic here is, okay, Chapter 5 had this sort of hub thing. Yeah, right here. This is what I want to talk about. Chapter 5 had this sort of hub thing. Oh, no, wait. Is it actually not a different room? Is this the same room?
I believe it is.
Now that I'm looking at it, I don't think it's a screen transition. That actually will then not change my point then.
Yeah, because this is all still the same room.
Okay, so they kind of... Okay, they cheated it then. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say that was a waste of a room to have that hub room, even if it's a homage to Chapter 5.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, okay. That's... I think I,
Oh, okay. You thought they
got
were
my-
spending a room just on that.
Yeah, I was like, did they waste a room? Because I feel like that's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. So when he says waste a room, there was From
room limit.
yeah, there
Or
was a
rough
room
room
limit.
limit.
So
It
you
wasn't
know,
always followed, but
yeah, I think you could kind of break the rules here and there with it, but it wasn't too bad. Oh, now that I think about it, does that mean?
what?
No. Okay, never mind. We're good.
Okay. Yeah, so
Uh,
I'm gonna
Secret
put
Temple.
this. Where are we at? Secret Temple. It's teetering between 5 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll put it at 5 for now because once again, I don't know what the scale is gonna be as we get bigger
Yeah,
and more into it. I could see this
definitely.
being just like a top level 4 or a very low level 5 because
Yeah.
this didn't introduce anything new. It paid homage to chapter 5. I feel like even for beginner puzzles, there was so much screen space, except for that one room that now I know is a huge room. Where I actually thought it was kind of interesting, an interesting puzzle to like solve, like, oh, where should you go and what should you do, right? Because we also have to keep that factor in mind, like, this person knows exactly what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to figure this out first. Like, we had to look through and be like, okay, we have to open this door, we have to open this door, but it's still like, for a beginner level, I feel like it didn't even need to be harder. It's just some of the earlier rooms, except for maybe the first one, could have been a little bit more complex, even with the base mechanics. Like, and there's no custom visuals. There's no. Oh, we don't know what the song is like, but I would assume it's probably just chapter 5.
It might have
Um,
been. I know a
like it's
couple
just too.
maps use that.
It's just Celeste. So it's to me, it's just average.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good playthrough, but it's nothing I would probably come back to other than just to get a strawberry.
Yeah, I would agree. It's um it felt like an extension to the chapter, which is cool. But I would say it's almost to the point where like the main game to me is like the 5 for this. Uh,
Right. Because
wh-
it's not that the main game is bad, but we're ranking on that scale of like,
how it
these are
compares to
custom
you.
maps.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's why I would just put it at a 5. It feels like it could exist in the main game. Uh,
Which
and
is
that's
good.
yeah, that's good. That I don't see anything wrong with that. Also, hi you, Hoha.
Yeah, hello you, haha. That's what I was gonna say once you stop talking, because
Um, all right, and let's switch back over to the video. What do we have next? We have Crystal Enigma.
Alright, so this uses Theo, so another chapter 5
Mm-hmm.
um style thing.
Was this the one that didn't allow neutral jumping? Because there's one room where the
I don't
puzzle was kind
remember.
of like getting Theo up. This, yes, you couldn't neutral jump. I remember we struggled trying to figure this screen out because we just
Really?
never thought about doing that.
What, jumping up the walls?
Yeah,
Interesting.
we always think too much.
Feel too little. Okay, this is actually yeah, this is interesting.
This definitely just uses concepts that you just wouldn't use. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pause right here because that top left room, if it's the room I'm thinking of, was possibly one of the hardest strawberry rooms in like the entire mod pack. If you know the room
Really?
I'm talking about, it was like a long tower with like moving blocks that uh, had like retractable spikes on them, so you could only use each side once. And it was just a very very
I'm
specific,
seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
right?
Good evening, everybody.
All right. I don't know how you're gonna do this, but
Are you screen sharing it?
Yes. I
Uh,
don't. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna be able to pull this up.
why is it not showing up here? Oh, what if I do this? What if I... Why is it not showing up? No. No. I'm not sure. Oh, here. If I do... That's weird. Oh, wait. It was a, me thing. There we go. Oh, okay. It's not the one I was thinking of then. I was thinking of a much larger room. It might have been in a different lobby then. Definitely something that should not be in the beginner lobby. So uh, glad to see that it wasn't the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
All right, continuing on. I thought they grabbed this key already. Maybe not.
It shouldn't. I was wondering when they were gonna grab it. This room was really interesting.
This was cool.
I remember we took some time on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah, very neat.
very yeah. We took a long time for this one.
A
I remember
lot of
that.
trial and error.
A lot of thinking. I'm not really remembering what's. Okay,
Going
it
on the
pushes the
other side of
block
the block.
down.
Oh, I think both of us had to wait for that block to respawn.
Probably.
Good save.
Oh, I'm assuming this person's probably sight reading these lobbies. Maybe not
Um,
sight reading them, but doesn't know too much of what they're doing.
yeah,
This is clearly
they
not
wouldn't first
intended.
try sight read that puzzle, I don't think.
You're probably supposed to take Theo on the block somehow, I would assume.
That's what I recall.
So yeah, a bit of you know, the puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
So this, despite having this, technically has different colored doors, which the game doesn't have. So that is a custom mechanic. Now a lot of other things use that custom mechanic. So I know it wasn't created by Crystal Enigma.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of thinking, this is definitely the hardest difficulty. I agree, and even execution at times. I I quite like this one. I think with just base game concepts, let's say base game concepts plus, because the doors aren't a new thing, but having the different colored doors is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just a lot of the puzzle rooms were really interesting, and it made me think. And even though it was beginner, we took some time on it, and the only thing I guess that it didn't have going for it was any custom theming. But I honestly, I would still give it a 7 for now.
I was thinking the same. So it some of the screens almost feel like a extension of the B side almost with how you move Theo around. Um, but the puzzles were just very neat and interesting, and I thought that was enough to give it a 7. It's weird because it's hard to rank sort of like puzzle levels versus platforming, since obviously the game is platforming focused. Um, But if you can do puzzles right, and I think this level did,
Yeah,
I
no,
think it definitely
I think in
deserves.
terms of puzzles and execution for its difficulty, it did very well. I honestly am probably gonna put it over Desolate Spire as well. As much as I love the theming, this was so much like in terms of playability, this is the best thing we've had out of the 5 we have so far.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Downgraded to tier list. Hey,
Hey, don't be hating, bro.
this is this is a good stream, okay? Lot.
We're talking about how much we love the whole pack.
Yeah.
This is our way
Instead
of
of playing
talking
it,
about it.
because playing it would mean going into these maps and
I mean, hey, we've already played it, so
yeah. Just two pros, definitely pros, talking about some good levels.
true. So yeah, these could be switched for me later. I'm not sure yet because I'm such a sucker for theming. But in terms of playing, I definitely had the most fun playing this out of any of them if I had to guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, chance we could probably one day if we feel like doing some more challenge based stuff, come back to the beginner stuff and try to go for silver berries because it wouldn't be too hard for us.
Yeah.
But
No,
not sure.
I feel like we'd be able to get most of them. We could probably, I mean, easily get the beginner rainbow.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe we'll do that sometime. Anyways,
Next up, Space Jam Fever Dream.
when I heard Dadbot talking about this, I think this was one of the made by one of the people who made the mod loader itself.
Ooh.
Um, naturally, there's a path up. So this okay. So this is
Do
this is a
do
custom mechanic.
do you remember
If this was somewhere else,
this top path? You had to do like two demos to get through it, and you basically turned the level into like a slightly harder version.
is that what it was?
Yeah,
Look it up.
because we went the top
Hard fun path.
we went the top route.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
Hard fun path golden.
Hold on. Let me. Wrong scene. There we go. All right. Yep. Oh, wow. I can't remember the last time I've seen the game with screen shake. Yeah. Mhm. I do remember that. Yeah. Mhm. Very cool. I might as well still watch the
How
because
it is.
I don't I don't think we've actually seen what
Yeah, I
this
don't know
bottom path is.
if we did this. We might have done it to um. Okay, so really different.
Mhm.
Um, we might have done it to get strawberries. Not sure.
That's a good point.
This is a lot more puzzle oriented.
Yeah. Interesting. Just skipping the room, I guess.
Right. Huh.
I wonder how much this does look familiar.
Does it?
But I can't recall if it was like a heart side that it's.
Yeah. So I was gonna give this a 4, but I think because of the so it utilized the custom mechanic well, but I don't think this custom mechanic is for me. It's not something like crazy cool. It just seems like an extension of what Celeste could have already potentially done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the theming is just the same. It's just old site. The demo room is cool though. The demo room and the extra content with that, with it being 2 separate levels, and some of the puzzles seem genuinely really interesting in the, let's call it, A side. Uh, so I'm gonna give this a high 5.
Okay. I I'm giving mine a 7.
Okay.
I really enjoy having split paths. Um, and mostly going off of that top path since that's what we experienced first. Um, it just I felt like it utilized the mechanic really well.
That's fair.
And I believe we do see this mechanic used elsewhere throughout the other lobbies. I can't remember where, but I think I recall seeing it somewhere else. Um, so we'll see if that changes just based on what else falls into 7 because I'm leaning between like a low 7, a high 6. Uh,
Okay.
but for now, I think it's worthy of a 7. Um, next up, we've got Electric Stratosphere.
All right. So banger music to begin with, even though it's just Celeste
This is
music. So we got some jelly stuff.
4B, correct?
Love the aesthetic of this. Just want to say it's nothing. It's nothing custom textured, but
Yeah, I
it's combining 2 different elements.
a bit hard to see having the light background with the
I
electricity.
I guess I don't know. I kind of think it's unique.
Like I like it,
That's
but
a
I can definitely see some people having trouble being able to see what's foreground, what's background. Celeste is a banger just by existing. That's true.
yeah. That's yeah. So just some bird puzzles with dream blocks. 2 things we really didn't see combined in the base game.
Mm-hmm.
But it was gonna be a wall bounce. I don't know why those crystals are outlined in red because I don't see any difference.
I'm not sure. Because Desolate Spire did the same thing.
Right, but there doesn't seem to be any difference in what they're doing, so I'm not sure. Maybe they don't respawn. Berry there, which you need to
Backtrack
backtrack
for it.
for.
Yeah, that was a very fun berry too.
Another one where it's kind of fairly sight readable and probably just fun to execute regardless.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, missed the heart on the first dash. Kind of unfortunate.
All
Not sure
right,
if they'll
so
recover.
um, so Celeste is a banger by existing. That's the first thing you got to remember. But either way, so
Is this the other one that yeah,
basically
this is the other I'll use.
Crystal Spire.
No, this was Electric Stratosphere.
Okay, Electric
Um,
Stratosphere, right?
I'll
Okay.
use new
So
Grandmaster
new
Heartside for
Grandmaster
that.
Heartside. So Electric Stratosphere. So for me, This is going to go down into the obviously it's not custom music, but I like the custom music choice, and they took base game concepts, combined them, and made something that I think visually looks good. Same thing with the gameplay concepts. They combined two things and made something fun and relatively sight readable and fun to execute, but not difficult. There's no creativity in terms of like something, wow, that's a crazy cool way to do the screen. It's just general Celeste movement made well with a good theme. So I'm gonna put this right up. It's gonna be in between these two. I like it better than Azurite Ascent because it's very similar to Azurite Ascent to me. I just like the theming better, basically.
Okay.
So I guess I really don't know if I like this better than
Heavenly.
the Heavenly something.
I'm gonna link the video on my laptop to see what it was called. Heavenly Altitudes.
Yeah, Heavenly Altitudes. Because the Heavenly Altitudes itself has a gimmick, but I really, really like the theming of this one. I don't know which one's probably more fun to execute. If I had to guess, it's probably Heavenly Altitudes, but then again, Jellies could add that next concept. So you know what? I'm gonna put this above Heavenly Altitudes.
We are thinking with one brain right now.
Okay.
Because Heavenly Altitude, I feel like it's slightly above Heavenly Altitudes because they're kind of the same concept, right? Both are, you're not touching the ground, though this one you touch the ground at the end of each screen because you've like unlocked it. It's something where I kind of prefer the faster pace of the bird over Battlein, where Battlein throws you up, the bird throws you
Right.
to
That's
the right.
basically what I was thinking.
And to me, I think that's just slightly more suited towards my taste. So I was also going to place it just right above Heavenly Altitudes.
Yeah, that's you and I are basically saying the same thing. The bird is just faster and it feels faster, and that means it just feels nicer.
Mm-hmm. Yohoha, I'm doing well. I'm feeling good. I may have fixed my sleep schedule today. I woke up an hour and a half before my alarm.
I saw when I got up, you were online. I was very happy with that. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I knew it was either go back to sleep, it was either stay awake an hour and a half before my alarm, or go back to sleep and probably wake up at like noon.
Yep.
So
I had that same thought. I almost actually woke up at 8:30 because of that, but I was like, the next time will probably be 10. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I was debating because at 8:30 I was like, I'm not that tired. But okay, cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, once again, we don't have these in the tier list for some reason, so we're using these as placeholders, but we know what they are.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, switching back here. Next up is blast processing. Thought this was also... Oh, this is intermediate. I thought this was a hard. Oh, this was the...
Okay.
Ding dong.
So yeah, this... Yeah. So believe it or not, this is pretty good. This was... I don't even remember the gimmick here. There's so much to like... Yes, you
it's
touch
the colored
something
ropes.
and it would... Yeah, it would move the other ones accordingly, and then you could switch switches.
Mm-hmm. And then you can stop the light to disconnect the circuit.
And Madeline's just sitting there dancing up and down.
Wait, what?
The Madeline, the red Madeline.
Oh yeah.
Completely puzzle oriented, not really any execution tests here.
Not only that, it's also the first instance of traffic blocks that stay in their position.
Oh, that's true. So yeah, a lot of puzzle solving here. This probably took us like half an hour. Update your Everest if needed.
If needed.
Interesting.
Yeah, very neat.
So yeah, there's and I'm sure the strawberry puzzles were crazy good too.
Mm-hmm. It's got the.
I remember this room. I remember this room. This room was like really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly what the whole thing was, but I just remember it was really cool. I also remember this room. This was moving around the bouncing light. Even a little puzzle in the final room.
So cool.
Very good. Very good. Um Concept, well, the theming around it is great. The puzzles, you got to be thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Custom textures, everything. I mean, this is just, you can see that this is different just by watching it. Uh, so this is subject to change, but right now I'm gonna put it in a 9 because
Okay.
I think it uses everything very well. Everything in this is done how it should be done, with the difficulty parameter, and just visually it's well made. This feels like a properly polished, high effort map made in a custom mod pack. Like it feels like it belongs.
I I'll agree. So I'm kind of like it's a for me it's a low 9 high 8. But
Yeah, well, I'm there too. I'm just choosing to put it in 9 for now.
yeah, for how we're doing this, once we have everything in there, where we are ordering things horizontally, left being better than right. So I guess it all depends on how congested 9 and 8 are for where that'll go. Um, but yeah, just very good introduction to uh, cool puzzle mechanics that I feel like it uses really well. The strawberries were probably also very fun. Um, it seemed to really have a good grasp on what it wanted to be.
Yeah, I agree. Also, custom music, thumbs up.
Custom music, always good to have. Custom background too, really cool having the theming was just really well put together. Um, let's move on. See, if I had a stream deck, I'd be able to like click a button and it change the scene and turn on and off all the things I needed to do.
You
Change
should get
tabs.
the mobile app. I think there's a mobile app for that. I've thought about doing
I
that, where
thought,
you just turns your phone into a stream deck,
oh, hmm,
or if you have an iPad,
I do have an iPad.
that would be very useful. I think you should do that.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. As long as it's not like a subscription thing. I
I'm
hope,
pretty sure it's not.
hopefully,
I'm
just a one
almost certain
time.
I've seen that it exists.
Huh. All right, Singularity. Hey, Jam. We're if you're just joining in, we're going through this mod pack. We've played uh if I switch scenes, we've played through uh all maps until these dark purple ones. So we're kind of going through, watching back. It's been a couple of years since we've played uh probably a lot of these actually. So
The easier ones, at least, yeah.
yeah, so going back and kind of ranking them.
The Celeste obsession returns, so we're kicking in full swing currently.
Yeah. So this one is the Singularity.
Unfortunately, we don't get to see the music for it. So this is sort of an interesting concept, uh, with these small blocks. Um,
Yeah,
I will say,
I think the theming is that like it almost seems like they've spawned in the middle of platforms where like they don't belong, I guess.
yeah, this is. I mean, you can see with the background combined with the Forsaken City ground that it's supposed to be like a you're in like time space somewhere, and
Mm-hmm.
like everything's meshing together. Or at least that's I in my head what it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Nothing uh, nothing too incredible.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but
This almost seems like the easiest of them all.
that that felt short. That was under a minute, and
Yeah,
it felt like they were playing
that
slow.
seemed very. I feel like I could sight read this one and get the silver.
Yeah.
Um, Not bad by any means.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Once again, uh, uh yeah, once again we talk about, it being easy, but that's more just like insight
Relative
on
to
how
other.
we feel about it rather than like critiquing it as bad because it's easy.
Right. So, um, I'll let's see what do I want to say. It's not okay visually. I guess is the one place where I think it shines a little bit. I think it takes some base game concepts and once again, it reminds me of the one I'm not gonna be able to name. Uh, where it combines base game visuals into something that creates a new theme, which I like. And I like visually I like visually and conceptually I like the whole like very small dream blocks in the middle of bridges kind of like warping through reality type thing. If I had to be like really creative minded with the way I look at it.
Hmm.
But it's simple and it's easy. That does not make it bad. That just makes it just makes it nothing compared to a lot of things else we're seeing. Um, so I'll give this a. Where is it at? What is this?
This was the Singularity.
I'm. I could potentially put this as a high 4 because I think that's where it's going to end up. But for now, it'll be the low 5 because
Okay.
to me it's just a level.
Yeah. Um, Similar thought process, but I was thinking of placing it right above Secret Temple. Um,
That's I actually think I'm not going to agree with that, but fair.
yeah. So
I was thinking about moving it
it's a weird thing where I think it separates itself enough with its theming and whatnot
to be
to
more. That's fair.
yeah, where Secret Temple, like I said, it felt like an extension of the chapter,
Mm-hmm.
where Singularity felt original in its theming but basic in its gameplay.
Yes.
Definitely not deserving of a yellow beginner. That was a green.
Yeah, no, that was yeah, I would say the only difference between I mean, you and I basically have very similar concepts on it. I think surprisingly enough, even though I've talked up theming the whole time, um the gameplay seems so basic in this one that I'm actually putting Secret Temple higher because I feel like even just the final room of Secret Temple or the final, not counting the heart room,
Yeah,
was just slightly more interesting than anything that was shown in the Singularity. And that's basically the single reason why, is because I feel like that last room, just gameplay wise, is exceeds it just a little bit. Because that last puzzle room was a little bit cooler. That's the only difference between you and I's rating.
that's completely fair. Jam, I'm doing well. Blizzard, how you feeling?
I'm doing well. I got a good sleep last night, which was not rare, but uncommon. Uh and so I'm feeling good. I'm sitting here talking to Meta. We do this like every day, and I like talking about things I like, so I'm a happy camper right now.
Nice. I actually fell asleep last night. Like, I swear I was awake just laying in bed thinking about Celeste for like half an hour.
Right.
Just like
I
thinking of
was
custom mechanics.
I fell asleep to watching Liam's stream, classic. And I woke up and I actually didn't I had to grab my right before the stream started, I grabbed my phone off charge because I had to put it on charge this morning because it was dead. Because it I fell asleep with it in my hand. I dropped it. It slid across the floor, and I didn't even know. I didn't like. I must have dropped it in such a way that it was quiet. Because when I drop it, I usually wake up.
Hmm.
Um, but apparently I didn't, and I woke up like an hour later. I saw it, and Liam is just like, I'm like, why does he sound like he's all around me? And he was like under my bed on the floor, pointed towards the wall, so it was like echoing around the room. And I was like,
Oh, that's
what the
incredible.
heck? So then I was just like, oh, I'll put it on charge and put it on like my dresser next to me,
Hmm.
or like my little mini desk thing next to me, and I'll just like turn it down and let it like faintly play in the middle of the night. And I guess I did that, but I didn't put it on charge because I was just like basically asleep almost,
Yeah.
you know, in that state. And so I just laid it on my dresser and didn't do anything else. And so I woke up with the phone just on the dresser dead in the morning when I went to pick it up. And I was like, huh.
Classic Liam.
I did get to watch a little bit of his runs yesterday, though. That was the first time in a long time I've stayed awake long enough to watch the run instead of falling asleep within 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a run get to SSL. I actually got to HMC. He got past SSL. He was like minus 24 out of SSL because his SSL and his PB is terrible. And then he lost it in HMC 100 when he missed one of the coins in the red coin room. And the verticality of it, it's really hard to back up.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah.
All right. Moving on. We've got... Wrong thing. There we go. Battlein Black Belt. Another yellow beginner. For those one, difficulty level goes green, yellow, red.
Okay.
I do remember this.
I remember this one.
So these blocks are the Battlein blocks. You encounter them during the Chapter 6 fight. Very neat. Has a farewell background.
What is it? Oh, it does. Kind of more of a magical cave background type thing.
Yeah. Definitely expanding on a mechanic that
that
the base
wasn't
game
used as
Yeah.
I agree. So I should let you talk. I
No,
always interrupt. I have a bad thing with doing that.
we seem to be in like the same thought process with a
Yeah,
lot
no,
of
because
these.
that's what I was gonna mention. Oh,
Whew. For the video we're watching, they're going for silver berries, which are deathless. If you die, you have to go back to the beginning of the first screen.
so I think this is probably the best example so far of something that um took a base concept that wasn't used that much or that could be used in a different way and used it creatively.
Absolutely.
You know, because I think Crystal Enigma is like that as well, but it's kind of cheating with the blocks being different colored, technically being a custom mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think this is the.
Wait,
Like, this
wasn't
is
Crystal Enigma
completely.
the Theo one?
Yeah, so it made the different colored blocks move. Which once again
Oh,
isn't
oh, oh,
base.
oh.
It's
Yes.
technically not base game, although I would still consider that expanding on the concept. It's still like it's like mini cheating.
Mm-hmm.
If you consider it that. So, with this one, it is like there's nothing. This is Celeste. So, Black Belt. I'm gonna put it below Crystal Enigma because it does have that interesting. Okay, you know what? I'm actually not even gonna put it above Deathless Fire, but I think. Hold on, I'm actually thinking a bit differently than I initially was. I like it. The theming's more basic, but once again, it takes original concepts in it and it gives them new life in a sense. It's somewhere in here. I'll tell you that much. You can see where I'm hovering it.
Yeah.
I think I personally liked it. See, this is hard because this is one of those ones I feel like I would have to play it to know.
Mm-hmm.
I like going fast with birds, so I'm just gonna put it in between here because I think the blocks look fun, but at the same time, I still think the puzzles could have been a little bit more, or like the I think they could have still done a little bit more with it, but it expands on what it does well, and it's just good.
See, I'm in a weird bind where I'm like, I kind of agree with your placement, but it's also making me rethink the placement of Electric Stratosphere, and thinking that it deserves higher. But I still feel like Desolate Spire uh, is above that. So I'm probably going to have it in between the same.
Yeah, I think we have the same rating here. The only thing is Desolate Spire is
Being
a number higher.
yeah, like I'm tempted to have Electric Stratosphere in a 7, um, but I don't feel like Desolate Spire deserves a 7, and I still feel like that's above. So it very strange, but yeah, in the end, I think I'd still place it in the same spot. Very cool. Um, oh man, do I move it? No. I'm keeping it there.
This is it's begun. It's because I was in the same spot. This one's hard to place. This one's hard to place.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it elevates the mechanic in one way, but
It feels like it could have done a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Jam, congrats on upgrading the PC. It's always better to like kind of go a little overkill, because you know that's the nice thing of not having to worry about upgrading it.
I'm gonna turn my AC on. Hopefully, there's not too much noise. I don't think you've ever complained about it, and I usually have it on every day. So
you are crazy for having the AC on.
it
Though it's not that
in my room.
It's not that bad. Even here it's 43 out, which is very warm.
It's colder outside than in my room, but with my room being the only thing on the second floor, I get a ton of heat up here. So.
Oh, okay. Imagine getting heat on the second floor.
Yeah, you and I have the opposite problem. My room's way too hot. Although your room is also way too hot in the summer, I guess.
Yeah.
But
it's 78 in my room right now.
Oh my goodness.
So that's crazy.
It's probably around that in my room right now, but that's way too hot.
But yeah, I absolutely think going a little overkill on PC upgrade is definitely worth it to not have to worry.
For sure. Yeah.
Before we continue, I need to go to the bathroom. So entertain the stream.
All right. Am I that dumb? How did I wait? I don't know why I thought just because there was 4 around that one that there couldn't be a 9 here. Sorry, chat. I'm stupid. That was my bad. very dumb moment.
Wow, not even using Minesweeper Online.
This one just came up, it was like a Google thing. It's just the easiest.
Yeah, but expert is a square in this and not a rectangle, which, you know, clearly
Yes, no.
inferior. But this has sound effects, I guess.
You should have seen the effect it did when I lost. Hold on, I'm very focused on this, as you can clearly see. I almost screwed that up. Okay. So, take it easy, Jambos. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh yeah, thanks for hopping in, Jam. Hope you rest well. Have a good day tomorrow.
See. All right. So,
Start at the bottom.
so it's got to be one of these two, which means that this one is free.
Start at the bottom.
Like, as in this is free?
Nope. You're using the wrong rule.
Well, right, but this two can only be. I guess it's just touching those two. um.
Good catch.
I'm not terrible at that anymore.
I saw the gears turning.
Yay!
Nicely done.
This is medium though. It's not expert
I know.
or hard. I just did whatever was the natural. All right, we're back in it.
All
We're
right,
back. We're
we
ready.
are back. Switching back over. And this is going to be Temple of the Kevins. This is the dad bod map.
Okay, this is the first dad bod map.
Yes.
The easy version.
Beautiful.
I'm not a Kevin guy,
music.
but yes. Music and theming. The Kevins themselves are technically custom textures. Being as like floors and walls and things like that.
Yeah. The boards are kind of hard to see. The brown boardwalk texture.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, there were demo spaces. We definitely did not go in those on this map.
Interesting.
Taking a big time to think over that small spike jump. Ah, crumbling Kevin's. Okay. Looking through it. Maybe they are just sight reading this.
Yeah, maybe they sight read some and didn't sight read others,
Mm-hmm.
or they try to sight read all of them but ended
Or
up dying.
yeah, I guess they did. It did show that there was a death before they actually got this. Neat. I am gonna re bring it back a little. I thought the level was good. I feel like this
This is
was,
random.
yeah. It felt like it was just so out of place. I think it plays a lot bigger role in uh
To the Kevins.
yeah, Crypt of the Kevins. No. Is it I think Forest of the Ancients because that's the other dad
I don't,
bod one.
okay, I don't remember.
Um
I don't.
I don't
Yeah,
think
I don't even remember when this was here. To be honest.
yeah, I remember it because we didn't really figure out what to do right away. Like we threw it a couple times trying to figure out what to do. It just didn't seem like it fit the map.
Yeah, I I agree. It's kind of, it makes the final room interesting, but I feel like the final room could have just had like a Kevin puzzle in it. It would have been the same
Yeah, yeah, that's what
or
I'm
better.
thinking.
So okay, this is gonna be probably one of the ones that I have more personal bias playing. I'm not a huge fan of Kevin's. They're just not one of my favorite mechanics. I think they're interesting nonetheless. And I think aesthetically, he did the Temple of the Kevins thing justice. The music's funny, fun and funny, well made. Yeah, color theming could have been. I feel like there's a bit hard to see, but I understand why it's like that. Um, Despite it being more creative than a lot of the things that are in my six, I'm probably out of personal bias going to only put it like at the low six. Because I'm just not a Kevin's guy, and I feel like this didn't do anything exceptional enough with Kevin to the point where I was like, "Wow, this is crazy."
Mm-hmm. Um, I
Putting it at a one,
no,
dang.
I this map actually just sucks. Uh, Uninspired. No, I would put it higher than. I know it's if it lets me. Oh, that's grabbing the other. Wait, what? I I'm not sure if I want it. I know I want it over Azurite Ascent. Um,
That's fair. It was definitely my scale as well.
Now the thought is, do I put it over Heavenly Altitude? Um, I, as much as I would like to, honestly, that crystal ball at the end, I think this Heavenly Altitude was just so it it felt like it knew what it was
Cohesive,
doing, consistent, um,
cohesive.
cohesive. Okay, yeah, I guess that would
I,
work too.
I, I don't. It sounded like you were searching for that word, but I'm not
Um,
sure.
I just feel like that it seemed like it was setting up more when it didn't need to in Temple
Yeah,
of the Kevins, and I think that holds it back just that little bit. Not that that matters in the long run. Like
right.
I can't imagine many other people would look at that and be like, oh yeah, the map sucks because of that. I just think it, it's like a point 0.1 decrease in this score. Um,
Okay.
Getting close. Not too many left. Let's see. Next on the lineup is
And we've been live
Thoughtful
for an hour and a
Dreams.
half.
Thoughtful Dreams, is this the uh black foreground one where you're just like a shadow.
No, I thought that was an
No.
intermediate map.
Oh, that might have been. I thought there were a couple.
Okay, so we are in a core with a. This is kind of
Is this-
intensive on the bit rate here. This is core with. I can't tell what kind of background. It almost looks like a red sky.
With floating crystal, so probably a farewell, but with like a red tint. It
So
might
this
be
seems
that
like
that might be a core background now that I think about it.
maybe. So this is some base mechanics, just a lot of base mechanics, just kind of thrown together.
Is that a strawberry room?
Yeah,
Or actually,
over
okay,
there.
hold up. I need to. Okay, so this was an optional strawberry,
Yeah, which I'm sure had
and
slightly
then
interesting
to the
waves in
right
it.
was a strawberry room. Okay, using that just to get the double dash back because it's the core dashes don't refresh.
Oh, right. Okay. So that's the gimmick here.
Which also utilizes the green gems for double dash refresh instead of the pink because uh, the pink ones didn't exist until farewell. So if you ever see that, if you ever see a
Oh, okay.
green
Yeah, yeah.
gem give you two dashes, that's just because pink gems didn't exist until farewell came out.
Right. And it's a completely different mechanic in that because in farewell, you need to gain a double dash. You don't just get it back by transitioning screen. So
Yeah.
that's where the difference comes. So now this is gonna like not come back to bite me later, but this is gonna not hold true later on. But currently, this is gonna play a role. I'm not a fan of core. It's just not. It's just my least favorite Celeste map in base game. Celeste chapter in base game. It's interesting, but I just don't care for the theming and the mechanics. I'm a cave guy, but I feel like this, for some reason, this one just didn't click with me. I think it's still interesting. Celeste is phenomenal. Every chapter is great, but it's the weakest. And this kind of carries over to this because it just feels like core and even less so, to be honest. It doesn't have as many core gimmicks. It just feels like the only thing that's there with it is the theming. um there's no I'm just this is one of my least favorite themes. It's not a bad theme, I'm just not a fan of it. And then the gameplay just seems like it's a lot of whatever. The strawberries, granted, do seem a little bit more interesting than the actual base thing, and obviously the only gimmick here really is that you don't get your dash back.
Mm-hmm.
um Thoughtful Dreams is what it's called. I
Yeah.
also don't really understand the name theming here. Um,
Um, I think it's just
so
because it has dream blocks. I
okay,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
all I
maybe.
could think of.
So this is gonna be my first one where I'm pretty solidified on it being below average. It's not bad because bad's down here. It doesn't have many flaws. It doesn't have a lot of flaws or like a medium amount. I just think it didn't do anything special, and even the things that were middle of the line had some redeeming factor, whereas this doesn't really interest me basically that much at all.
Mm-hmm. Um, I I'm personally gonna put it above Seeker Temple. I think I I also dislike Core, but I think it pulled the best part of Core, which is the not refreshing the dash. I think that's a
Okay.
unique enough mechanic alone that helped elevate this level. The strawberries probably play into it pretty well as well. I just think it's a bit more interesting than like the chapter 3 stuff, or not chapter 3, chapter 5. um I don't know, I felt like Secret Temple still, like, it didn't do enough, and I don't think that last screen carries it enough to put it above Thoughtful Dreams in my opinion.
Okay.
So that's where I would place it.
All right.
Yeah. All right, let's see what's next. We've got Mossy Caverns. I liked Mossy Caverns. This is so cool.
Very cool theming. Used the air bubble mechanic, which comes back in later levels, but it was the first time we had seen it.
Mm-hmm. as well as
Um,
water currents.
oh, did you need air? You did need
Yeah.
air. That's right. Okay. So already a lot of custom stuff that makes water way more interesting.
And it was a level that you couldn't dash in. You just don't have a dash.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So if you were wondering why they didn't dash in that first screen, that is why it just is disabled.
So this is one of the things where it's kind of a double-edged sword because you're not utilizing one of Celeste's main mechanics, but regardless, it still seems to be so incredibly well made that you're not
Mm-hmm.
bothered by that, which I think is very good. Like this could realistically exist in any game with custom mechanics, but it just feels right with Celeste's base controls.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like you're playing Celeste for this map. It feels like it could be a different game.
Tracking against the current section here.
Interesting waiting for that bubble to come back.
I respect it. So I'm assuming up is a strawberry.
Yeah. See, I knew up I knew the shine was strawberries and not the intended route.
I don't think that's the case for everything though. I think people do it on a case by case
Because
basis, which I'm not a huge fan of. But
even chapter four's Crystal Heart was through a shiny gate. Or well the
interesting.
no, yeah, it was the Crystal Heart first.
The crystal hearts through a shiny gate because the crystal heart's on the way out of the section anyways.
Yeah.
Though doesn't get the block. I'm assuming that's just for a strawberry then.
I think the current was pushing away from it, so may need to
Okay.
get it later.
Yeah, seems so.
Or not. I guess that was a strawberry.
Just kind of looking around and see what they need.
Oh, okay. I guess yeah, probably a sight read. Not sure they're realizing they can just go through the
They're apparently dumb. Not
can
sure.
go through the current. There you go.
Oh, okay, no, you actually can't. That's current's too strong to go through, but then you can reset it there.
Yeah.
Cool little mini puzzle. Requires thinking, which is nice. Using Celeste elements, using keys,
Mm-hmm.
using base game elements to still make it. It's still Celeste.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is the first case of as far as, what we've played that does underwater because the base game
Yeah,
doesn't really do underwater stuff.
right. Even though water exists, it's very rarely used other than in Chapter 6,
Yeah. And even then
where
it's
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 very
mostly there
briefly
just
used,
as like that first room.
and like some stuff towards the end, right before battle, and there's a little bit of swimming, and that's about it.
Oh, that's right.
Definitely the most content heavy one. Thus far in terms of how much time it takes. You got to think about this. Nice camera movement there, just to show the rest of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't need that bubble. The extra key here that you could get, I believe, for um, was this the thing where you could get another key?
I think so. Right? Because there's another key block at the end.
I feel unless I'm thinking of a different level.
Why'd they no, there you go. Yeah. No. I don't think you need the other.
Let him cook.
Need to get rid of that current. He's trying to see how to get rid of that current.
Ah, there we go. Oh, you do need to take the top route, this one.
And that's why this bubble is here.
Jump over. You don't want to be hitting those spikes just by walking off. I don't think you would, but want to play it safe. This was
Cool final section.
very
yeah.
similar to, is it 6B?
And there's the other key that you would need. So
Was it, or no, it was core B side that had a section like that with the feathers.
okay, yeah.
Very similar to that. Now Dash is active in that room.
Good, very good.
Very good.
Custom music theming.
New textures. Those are technically the same textures, but used in a way with different lighting and coloring, such that it feels like they're new. No dash, kind of. Now that's the one where you're like, okay, well, you can make this in any platformer, but then once again, keys and other custom mechanics are used so that it still feels like Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess it simultaneously gets docked points and gets added points for that being like, okay, well, you can't dash. That's the point. So, basically a double-edged sword with that. It's good. It's really good. Solid 8. It does new things. It's interesting. It makes you think. It's not the easiest thing in the world. You got to look for bubbles. You got to decide your pathing so you don't die. The breath mechanic's awesome. One of the few times I'll ever say that. The breath mechanic of underwater is awesome in this case. The bubble mechanic is obviously new and interesting, and yeah, it just makes a really good beginner map with all the things it was given.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. It's one of those maps where I feel like the ranking is more based off the concept than the actual gameplay of it. Its theme and its concept, it's all cohesive and it works well with everything they've put into it. The gameplay, not as interesting as your fast moving. Obviously, with the no dash. When you were saying like, it's still using the other Celeste mechanics, I was thinking like, I could honestly see this being like a Super Mario World level.
Right, that's what I was thinking about that.
And I don't think that docks points. I think that's more just like it's not necessarily a unique concept, but it's neat seeing it in Celeste, and it's neat seeing it work in Celeste. And so I was also going to give it an 8. I think it's something where the other water map I was mentioning to you off stream, which may be City of Tears, but I thought it was later. I thought there was another one in like whatever the third in Advance that had either Advanced or Expert that was underwater. That I was thinking it may be Watertown, honestly. That I think is pretty much the elevated version of Mossy Caverns. It has dashing, it has switching between water and not water.
I seriously think we're thinking of flooded waterways. That's what I'm thinking of.
Ooh, okay, that might be.
I seriously think that's what you're thinking of, but maybe not. Maybe not.
That might be. So we might see it today.
When we mention this as a general concept, like making this tier list, there's a few things that pop into my head, and I can immediately, for the most part, pick them out. There's a couple, maybe I won't know the name, but I can just kind of recollect very vague memories in my head over the last 2 years of what certain things look like, and flooded waterways, I can tell you right now, is one of those ones that comes back into my mind, which means, no, memorabilia isn't always, like, it shouldn't affect the rating so much that you, like, just because you had a good experience with it. But like at the same time, if I had a good enough experience with it to where I'm remembering it throughout 50 different levels plus, that means it did something very exceptional. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I
anyway.
think that might be.
We have to rank it. Oh, I already did.
You
Wow,
did.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd rank it the same. I'd rank it an 8, knowing that there's a elevated version of it that will probably be a 9, maybe 10. I guess.
No, it can't unless you. I know what your 10 is, and you know what my 10 is. So
Are we only ranking 110?
one thing in 10. That's the point.
All right. Okay.
Because everything else, 9.8 is basically what it would be anyways, right?
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
Unless you would rather just make the top tier 10 and then the next tier just favorite.
I'd be fine with that. Having like another rank above 10. I'm actually just gonna repurpose.
So just change 9.8 to 10 then.
Oh, I didn't
and
have a
then just-
9.8.
Okay.
I'll-
then 10 is just favorite.
I'll repurpose my 1 because I'm not putting anything in 1. Not that high. There we go.
So how this will work though, since we have technically 2 10s here, is just that the top of this 10 will still just be 9.8.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that's how it has to go. We can't have 2 10s because if we have 2 10s, that could create a conflict when we're specifically ranking a whole thing when we combine our numbers.
Yeah.
Because we will be doing that, but we'll talk about that at the end, which is not this stream, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. I mean, theoretically, that basically makes this an 11 if we really wanted to do that.
Yes, but I don't want to take it off the scale.
Yeah.
Like an 11, we could I guess say 11 here for like visual flair, but it's gonna be a 10.
Mm-hmm.
So
We'll do that as well. All right, moving on. We've got. Oh, I scrolled way down. Star Jump.
I remember this one. This one I remember specifically.
Yes. Oh, I loved the feel of this one.
Was this the one that had the dash crystals? That you could curve? Or was this just a thick? No, okay,
I don't
actually, this
think...
might be the easiest level in the whole mod pack. I remember this one.
Yeah, this one I actually
think this
did
is
like
probably
the
easiest level.
speed berry on.
Yeah, that's right.
Very neat visually.
Yeah, I was gonna say visually is where it stands out.
I don't think I'd say it's
and-
the easiest because I think one of the earlier
I think it's the
ones we
easiest.
saw was even easier, and that's saying something.
I think I took the least amount of time and died the least on this, and I remember that I don't even think I died until the last room. I think I died on this room maybe once, because I believe this is the last one, because it was super tall.
Yeah.
Cool last room, being a little bit taller. Neat. I really like the blocks here.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's a custom texture, yeah.
Those are used in core.
Okay.
Those are like the very end.
Yeah, it almost seems more in place here than it does in core.
Yeah.
So this is like very basic. It's just jumping and dashing. What I'll say positively about it, okay, I don't have anything negative to say. Let's put it that way. I don't have anything negative to say. What I'll say positively about it though, as in terms of like versus other things, is with the very basic concepts it had, the theming was still very good, and I like the visual pathing they used with the spinners. They wanted to keep it very open feeling, but you still had to path around a lot of spinners, like come up and back down and around, which I think with the minimalistic aspect they were going for is done very well. So
Those are the things that set it apart from other things. But other than that, it's just a map. It's the easiest map in the entire thing, in my opinion. It uses the least amount of mechanics out of anything. It's just jumping and dash crystals. So I still, just because of the theming, personally like it more than Secret Temple and the Singularity. But that's it.
Okay. I think the theming is better than the Singularity. Um, I'm saying this as like it's different from how ours are set up. I think it's better than the Singularity enough to put it into a 6, a low 6, but below Azurite Ascent, which gave that bit of challenge. Like Star
No,
Jump,
it's just Star Jump is just the most basic in terms of gameplay in the entire thing.
mm-hmm. Yeah, like it. I don't know. The Singularity kind of rivals it on that. It's a thing where Star Jump is easier, but the Singularity was slightly harder but shorter, and so those kind of even out in my head.
That's fair.
But I think the theming of Star Jump puts it above.
Yes, that's what gives it. It's something different. So yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Heaven's Outer Space. Yes, this is the one I was thinking.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Another dashless screen or level.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Very neat, slow moving time block.
Yeah, the noise.
But you have to, like, you have to be able to read that that's a key to open
Yeah.
a door. It's very neat.
Mini strawberries here instead of like strawberry. I don't know. That's just a visual thing.
I think yeah, I think they were like permanent strawberry seeds is what it effectively
yeah.
was.
So cool gimmick. I remember we missed one of the strawberries in this one. I believe, when we had to go back.
Yeah, we had to
Which
replay
was
this
cool.
because we missed one.
Which I think is actually kind of a cool thing. If we miss things, this was a cool gimmick screen. I remember. Yeah, I believe there was a thing where you had to like backtrack a lot, like to get one of the strawberries.
That might be this one, that top path, unless that might be
Yeah,
needed.
yeah. I want to say you had to go like along the top, maybe after you got all the mini ones, something like that.
Well, I thought the mini one spawned a berry at like the very end of the last screen.
Maybe. For some reason I just recall having to backtrack along the top a lot. Oh, there was something to the left there. Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
Very neat. A bit slower of a cycle than I'd prefer, but
Yeah, I agree.
nice some challenge in
Yeah, I was gonna
those.
say that seems more difficult. So.
Oh yeah, the low gravity here. Then the
Very,
fade
very
into
nice
the
stream.
color.
Visually, just so good. Very, very good. Very good stage. So this is Mossy Caverns Part 2. Not because of like they're similar in terms of what they did, but they're similar in terms of how they did it. They took away the dash, so it's like, okay, well, now it could be any platform, but at the same time, the difference between this and Mossy Caverns, in my opinion, is you can't have this in Super Mario World. The feather and the keys and the springs and things used. Okay, his keys were in Mossy Caverns, but the feather and the springs take Mossy Caverns original. Okay, I'm going to take away your dash and then use good theming and unique custom mechanics
Mm-hmm.
But this time, without the dash, it feels even more interesting than Mossy Caverns did, and the visuals are out of blow me out of the water. Like,
Yeah.
um, I'm a huge fan of this. Honestly, I think this is gonna get a 9 from me, and I'm gonna kick down Heaven or Blast Processing to a high 8. I just it looks so good. There's custom music. Once again, it takes Mossy Caverns and what it did in terms of usage of mechanics and brings it a step further by taking away your dash but still feeling a lot more like Celeste.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking of a similar thing with my board. Um, the silhouette levels are just so cool. I know the newer Donkey Kong Country games do it a couple times, and it's always so cool. Like it really feels like a unique level when they do it. Um, Makes it a bit hard to tell some of the elements of like this is a door key, this is a switch, but it leads you to those naturally. So it doesn't matter that you can't like fully tell. And then once you hit the first one, you're like, oh, okay, I know what those look like now, and now you're looking for them on the following screens.
Right. And I want to say this as the strawberries just from us playing it, I remember were very good.
Mm-hmm.
That adds a lot to this.
Yeah, yeah. It's just very cool flow, very good theming. Where Blizzard moved blast processing down and fit this into the 8, I'm moving this into an 8 and moving Mossy Caverns to a high 7.
Okay.
Because once you started mentioning Mossy Caverns, I was like, you're right. It is kind of like an elevated version of that, but using it in a different way.
Yes.
And I felt like that puts Mossy Caverns lower just because it could have done more.
Yeah, that's fair. I could potentially see myself doing that as well. I'm hesitant to give this a 9 still because I see this possibly moving as well. But I don't know that I personally could put Mossy Caverns into a 7 because despite me not liking core, I love the cave aesthetic. I just don't care for the red cave aesthetic. That's just not my, I don't know. When you add red to it, for some reason, that degrades it a lot for me.
Yeah.
But definitely Mossy Caverns is in the 8 because it still carries the theming for me. That's, I think, the only difference here.
I can
I
see
could
it.
see myself moving. I could see myself moving this to an 8 though. But I do like it a little bit more than Blast Processing out of personal bias for the theming. I think Blast Processing is probably a little bit more unique in terms of gameplay, but the theming is just so strong on this that I can't. I just enjoy looking at pretty stuff. So yeah.
That's fair. All right. And next up is the circus one, Cirque Materano.
I think this is one of the first ones we ever played.
It was, yeah, it was fairly early in the lobby. Very strange. It's so different style
Yeah.
wise than
I've
every
got
other level.
yeah, I'm good. I've definitely got some things I'll point out and say about it. Towards the end.
But the moving spring platforms is the main thing that it
Gimmick here.
introduced. And honestly, thinking back on it, like, it does seem like it does, the moving spring platforms does kind of give it like a circus kind of feeling. So
Yeah.
like in that sense, I think it
I
nailed it.
think it did well. Yeah, it did well with combining gameplay and visuals and making them feel cohesive.
Yeah. Very neat at telling you that it's gonna come back by showing some of the track. Spring skip. Interesting.
This was a cool thing with them stopping. I don't believe this is in the base game.
No.
I remember this room.
Mm-hmm.
This concept has been done a lot of other times, so it's not necessarily anything unique, but with the stopping, it kind of makes it a little more unique.
Yeah, if I remember the last screen correctly, it's a neat version of this. Neat seeing them moving in a pattern now rather than just static up, down, left, right. Or I guess some of them move diagonal, but like this is a more unique path.
Yeah, just because it stops.
Yes, here's what I was thinking.
Yeah, this was actually really cool.
And with the strawberry path, you have to take, or no, I guess that is the regular path. You just need to take it later. Playing it very safe.
Fair.
Very cool last obstacle.
All right. So this level is the most out of place level in the entire hack, and I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just different. And so I want to start off with the sentence: this feels like a one-off challenge level mod made by just about anyone in the community with a little bit of creativity. Now, I'm not putting it down for that, but the main thing I think this lacks is, and I don't ask me how I would do it because I'm not a creator in this game, but it lacks this polish. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of floating wood platforms everywhere with a background.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like once again, it feels like a challenge level, not something with like. I use this a lot when I'm talking about GD levels. It feels just like it has unpolished edges, where it's like I shouldn't have so much empty space because it doesn't feel like it should be like that. It should feel it got a little bit better towards the end when the obstacles were more complicated, but like there's a lot of 1 block wide like thin pillars of wood that just looked really out of place. I feel like if everything was thicker and had a lot of edges to it and everything was kind of enclosed in like a box like a lot of levels are, like you're actually inside of an area and you can't see the edges cleanly, um it would just look visually a little bit cleaner. That's my main complaint with this one. Other than that, this is definitely out of the beginner levels, in my opinion, in terms of execution, not time spent playing it, the hardest one in terms of just raw execution skill, which made it interesting to play. The gimmick is fun. I'm not a huge fan of the circus theme itself, but that's going to be the personal bias part of it. But I still think the main thing here is just that it just feels unpolished. It feels like a challenge level that you could just download from somewhere. And yeah, the one thing I could say about it is it's interesting taking base mechanics and just giving you kind of a hard execution by adding a slightly different pathing to the trackers, the tracks or whatever you want to call them. And the last part of the last screen is very cool.
Yeah.
Personal bias against it, unpolished, but fun to play once you execute it correctly. I'm gonna put it above Secret Temple and below Star Jump.
Okay. Definitely agree with a lot of your points. Uh, the way I was describing it in my head was it's like a Geometry Dash layout versus the other levels being like a polished, finished level. Like it's got uh, all the things it wants, but it just doesn't have that finishing polish to it. Um, Even though it has the fitting custom music, it has the background. Uh, all the blocks and colors they used work really well, but like you said, it is a lot of floating platforms. It seems like.
Yeah. Right, which I don't know. To me, it just felt it fits the circus theme, but it just feels like it could have been that same level with a little bit more time in the oven. I feel like could have been better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think it fits what it wanted to be, I think, but it could have shot for more. Um, it's a hard thing because I was like, I could kind of see it being a 6 because of the gameplay, but I think I'm going to put it as a high 5. Um, I don't know. The theming, not necessarily the theming. I think the polish is what brought it down just barely.
Yeah, I agree. That was my main thing.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but like it's still it was fun. It's a fun level.
Yeah, no, it is good. And I for beginner, it was nice to have an execution challenge because a lot of the beginner stuff is more um thinking challenges or just simply easy for us personally.
Mm-hmm.
So it was this one actually I remember took us like a couple attempts for each screen to actually do it, which is
Yeah.
nice. It's nice to have a challenge. So good.
Next up is Into the Storm.
I remember this theming wise because you were always chasing the battling thing,
Yeah.
which I thought was an interesting way to use it.
Yeah, it's neat seeing it outside of like the grassy because this is chapter 2 background, right? I think.
Possibly. It's raining here. Interesting aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, kind of wish we could hear the song to hear what it sounded like, but oh well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very short, 50 seconds for the level
Yeah,
clear.
this one seems harder than the other ones that were just about as short as this.
Yeah, because
And
Singularity
it
was about
also
the same
also
length.
seems a little bit more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, just watching this, I can barely remember anything that happened other than the clear visual theme.
Yeah.
I think the chasing the battle in thing is basically the thing that makes this different. But that's about it. But this reminds me of probably around Azurite Ascent because it's taking all base mechanics. It doesn't do anything special, but it's more fun and fast than something like Star Jump or um Heavenly Altitudes.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I don't agree with that. It's just more it's just more interesting than Azurite Ascent, but there's no gimmick like Heavenly Altitudes, so then it just lands right above Azurite Ascent because I think actually it's gonna land right below Azurite Ascent because I kind of like the theming of Azurite Ascent better, and that's just my bias. But the battle end thing is interesting, so therefore it's more than average, and then it goes above Temple of the Kevin's just because of my not caring
Hatred
for
of
Kevin's as much.
Kevin's.
Not hatred, but I just don't care for them as much. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just justifying why it's below this and why it's above everything else.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it here in the